STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
Yes, in today's episode, if you will, we're going to be talking about people who are in other people's business. Okay? You see, sometimes in life, there are certain people who are very good at what they do, and that is a good thing. Personally, I have a strong appreciation for people who become extremely great at their craft, commit the time, make the sacrifices to become very good at what they do. You see this in athletes. Whether it's Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen, what are some other athletes?
Why do you have to go pick out those F1 racers?
Because it is what I can relate to. You see what I'm saying?
You know, for the longest, they were thinking that F1 wasn't a sport.
Oh.
Try racing.
Well, you know, I'll tell you this. Go and drive your personal car in a loop for an hour. I mean, you know, if you think about it, when people have a long drive, they always say, oh, I'm tired. It's a long drive. Now, imagine that drive with G-forces slapping you down. Having to strengthen your core through every corner. But it is all the same, right? It is being on the extreme. Whether you are Tiger Woods or I don't know. I cannot remember the name of any American football player.
We've not been watching sport lately, y'all. We've
Yeah,
been
it's been a long
focused
time.
on getting you guys this information.
Exactly.
The most important type of sport that you need right now.
The type of business that you should be minding.
Yes.
Right? Because when you're minding the business of other athletes too much, you start to realize that it is not beneficial to you. Right?
To you.
Yeah. However, despite how good some of these athletes can become at their sport, it does not qualify them to now tell other people what sort of things they can do in their life to become athletes, especially if those people are not asking for it. Right?
Oh, it does not qualify you as the referee.
Exactly.
Because you referee the sport.
Exactly. It does not qualify you as a referee of the sport either. It starts becoming extremely disrespectful, right? And this is essentially where we find people like the IMF and many other Western organizations.
Three-letter word
If you will.
organization. Unelected people.
Exactly. So, in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, please let us know what are your thoughts on this situation. Okay, what is happening is that in Ghana, for those of you who do not know, Ghana, which part of Africa that's
In the west side
of Africa, one of the most beautiful places out there. Very chilled, laid back, relaxed people. With some very strong incentives right now, actually, for
Africans
people,
around the world.
Yes,
People of
Africans
color.
and people of color, black people, to come back to the motherland and invest and grow our own
Economy.
motherland.
Yeah.
Our own economy,
Yeah.
right? However, according to the West and some of these three-letter organizations, Africa is not fit for growth. Africa is not fit for progress and prosperity, right? So all they are good for is giving up their resources with this predatory extortionist ideas that have been put out there, and of course borrowing money to the same people that you know cannot pay it back. But you are also printing the money, which means that it has no value.
Printing the money and giving it to corrupt governments.
Exactly.
And then you call them corrupt, but you're the one giving them the money.
Exactly.
Through the banking system.
Exactly.
Oh, lordy.
And so in this situation, here is one of those situations that we speak of. You know, I think Dr. Is it Chumburi Arikana spoke about this at length in one video. And she spoke about the disrespect that African nations are receiving from these Western entities. Okay. And here we see that the finance ministry warns the country of Ghana that they stand to lose $3.8 billion over controversial anti-LGBTQ bill. Before we dive into this, I just have a quick question. There's a lot of things that are happening around the world right now, okay? And I don't know, double O for you. What would you, if someone could ask you, what are the top 3 most critical things that are happening around the world right now? So let's say you were in a position of global leadership or so. What would you say would be the most 3 important things that you'll be taking on right now?
All right. I'm writing it down right now, and I'm about to spill it. Number 1 is poverty. Why poverty? Poverty because the same 3-letter word organization, World Bank, IMF, their primary objective is to eliminate poverty. Since World War II, they will print this money and send it to those corrupt governments to eliminate poverty. They have NGOs, and are wasting poverty come to an end? No. Why is this an issue? That's one.
Why is this a priority?
Poverty is caused by inflation.
Yeah.
Inflation is number 2. Print money like crazy, destroy the ability to store value, destroy the ability to own money, and this is the problem?
Yeah. This is the biggest problem right now.
3 is the mindset of the African. That should even be the number 1 thing. Colonization is way over, but we still rely and strongly believe that this people has the better solution or the answer for our problems. But they're the one causing the problems on the continent. Exactly. Why would you, in the moment where Africa needs to start developing, try to bring up environmental issue and gay rights as if that is Africa's problem? I grew up in Africa as a kid. I didn't even know what gay was. Most Africans don't know what gay is.
To be honest with you, actually, true facts, the first time I heard the word gay, and especially gay in this context, was when I had come to this country at the age of 15 is when I finally heard the word gay. And I did not even know what it was.
Mine was 14 when I came to this country as well.
Yeah.
But then when I start calculating, I was like, oh, that friend of mine could have been gay, but I did not treat him as gay. We don't have a specialized way of treating people that have different sexual preferences.
Here's the interesting thing about it too, right? Because a lot of times you can... Let me start from the ignorant end. And you guys can come at me however you want. Because sometimes... When people look at like someone and they assume that they're gay, it could be due to their mannerisms. But as a matter of fact, that is not even a determining factor necessarily. Right? It is just what it is. But you make it that's a really good point you bring up there. I want to combine the colonialism and discrimination against black people. And I'm just going to make this statement very basic here. If you have colonization, which means that this is discrimination against a race of people or oppression of a race of people based on their color, and we have not been able to resolve and wipe out that discrimination, why is it then that is the IMF implying then that they're imposing these sanctions on these people because if they allow gay black people to be free, then this means we'll end colonization of the other black people that are just there?
Nope.
Because you do not warn these people that they're going to lose 3.8 billion.
Well, it's 3.8 billion of fake money though. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, exactly. It is 3.
You already have the resources. You have gold. Mine your own resources in your own country.
Right. It's 3.8 billion of resources. But what I'm saying is, if these people say, hey, because of this LGBTQ bill, right, you're going to see some sanctions because you are taking action that is discriminatory towards a group of people.
How many gay people are in Ghana, for Christ's sake, that this is a big issue?
Well, exactly. Well, this is the thing, though. If you're going to be doing that for discriminatory purposes, how can you do that when you are currently a colonizer engaged in the same sort of activity where your behavior is, how would you say these days now, disproportionately affecting the nation as a whole, which is African, okay? In fact, I mean, which is Ghana in this case, okay? The whole country of Ghana being affected by these activities that you're engaged in, right?
Of your policies.
Okay. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. Two.
Oh, you're the problem. You're the one causing the problem affecting the nation. Now you're bringing the solution that has nothing to do with the problem that you're causing in the first place.
Yes.
That is exactly what you call gaslighting.
Yes, exactly. Right. There is hungry kids on the ground.
Yeah.
According to you guys, right? Because that's all that Africa is. Hungry land. There's hungry kids on the ground. And somehow we have skipped that and gone to the LGBTQ situation. You know, I'm from Africa. I can tell you that the LGBTQ thing has never really been like a thing that is.
It's new because before it was environmental. You know, let's make Africa go green.
Yeah, what happened to the environment?
ESG was a big thing.
What happened to the environment?
Now they've switched it.
At the same time, let me also point this out. I find it absolutely incredible, flabbergasting, mind blowing. Tickling my freaking numbskull that you will sanction someone potentially of $3.8 billion for LGBTQ bill, but there is no action being taken on someone who is freaking bombing the shit out of a whole nation right now.
Not one nation, couple nations, by the way.
So what you're telling me then that just writing some laws or some rules or having discourse about the LGBT community is more detrimental to the human existence right now than bombs dropping on people?
I think that 3.8 billion is a Trojan. They tried it in Nigeria, it failed because Nigeria is a lot more Islamatized. That's not going to play in Nigeria. They tried it in Kenya. Of course, the Kenya president is playing to their tune-up music. They tried it in Zambia. It failed in Zambia. Africa, it's loving. We might have all sorts of different group of people, but we don't intentionally. Actually, you're the one bringing it to the attention now that they have to start creating laws against it. Initially, culturally, kings will have people of different type of whatever. There's no. From my growing up, there was no attack by the society against these people.
It's not that, it seems to me that the attack upon these people came about from this mission to shove down some of this their choice of lifestyle on everyone. Okay.
It could also be them trying to kill the community,
Yeah, this is true too. There's that reverse engineering thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you now put the people who are of the LGBT community in the face of danger and allow other people to take action upon them. And then you will really sit in the back going, I'm supporting you. But you are putting these people in a volatile situation.
Meanwhile, you don't have parents having kids, reducing the population.
Yeah, exactly.
All this madness going on in America right now. They're trying to bring it to Africa.
Exactly. So it is a very interesting one. And I think that we are at a point in time, ladies and gentlemen, where you have to hold on to your morals. You have to really be clear on who you are. Because if not, okay, these things are going to run you over and they will iron you down like cloth.
Iron you down like cloth. For a nice iron cloth, that's a good cloth to wear.
The cloth is feeling heavy temperature. It is a good cloth to wear because you have now ironed it out to fit the shape and form that you want it to be, right?
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. So, and when you now fit the shape and form that they want you to be,
they can do anything with you.
Exactly. So please tread carefully.
That will wear you Get you daddy.
Your
Where you again?
yeah, your principles, your morals, all of that stuff.
Gone.
Oh yeah, they will iron up.
Gone.
The next thing you know, you'll only be walking down the road and you will not be able to tell which way is left or right.
All your gold will be gone.
Your mind will be confused.
Yep.
Just like they have manipulated your sense of value, where you think that taking debt and upon debt on debt that is not beneficial to you seems to be more superior to holding a very scarce asset like Bitcoin. You see, a lot of these things are misdirection.
Yep, it is.
These are not the most pressing
Prevalent
matters
issues in
the
on the
world.
continent, in Ghana,
Yes.
anywhere in the world. Like, why are you even picking them out in the first place?
Well, even furthermore, these people don't run Ghana, right?
Oh,
They don't run Ghana.
indirectly. I mean, we have all these puppet leaders.
Yes, but here's the thing. Since they want to be shadow leaders, let's not acknowledge them then, right? This would now tell me that the IMF has no right to be saying this in the first place.
The people know that.
Yeah.
But they're, of course, like you said, the finance minister,
Yeah.
the president, these are people that are following the directions of their so-called leaders.
What we would like to see is for these heads of the IMF to come out and make a public statement saying that Ghana cannot do X, Y, and Z. And then let us in the crowd now be able to question them and say, who are you?
What happened when
Are you the
France?
president of Ghana?
What happened when France did that? So yeah, France did exactly what you said, and Africa revolted. And what they're trying to do now is not be the ones saying it, have our own so-called puppet rulers.
The
go out
traitors.
exactly. The same traitors that sold people out as slaves.
But then that now only says now that, hey, it looks like these people are not really supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be.
They should not be saying anything about what is not in their country, right?
Yep.
It is the same thing when we see these people out here trying to police the rest of the world, trying to tell other nations what they can do, trying to tell people who they can trade with and who they cannot trade with, trying to tell you who you can send money to or not, trying to tell you what you can buy with your money. And you see, with something like CBDCs, which they are pushing for, essentially trying to control your entire life. This is exactly why we need something like Bitcoin. Now, let's say Ghana starts buying Bitcoin. Double O, how do you think this situation turns out then?
The Ghana economy, especially with the natural resources that it has, if it can produce enough energy to mine and produce internally and exports, right? It has enough money. Actually, it can also mine some Bitcoin because they have oil.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure they have some gas that is being released into the air that they can use to mine Bitcoin. $3.8 billion is pennies to the amount of funds that they can raise with Bitcoin.
Well, when you think about the amount of money that is extorted from the African continent itself, right? It's trillions of dollars.
You do not need
being extorted.
IMF loans.
Yes. So it seems to me that any African leader who does not have a backbone to start standing up, there's a ferocious failure coming your way in the form of Bitcoin. Same as these clowns here who are pretending to be LGBTQ activists, using, what's interesting to me, and it is such a shame. These people should really be embarrassed. And if you're an LGBT person, please do not come at me.
No, we're not coming at you, actually.
Yeah, do not come at me.
This is for you. They're using you as a tool.
Yeah, because you're just a pawn, right? You're punching back in the situation. Right?
You are, unfortunately.
Whenever there is a serious problem, there is that saying, you hear some of these crazy things that these people said way back in the day, and you really have to sit back and analyze to see what is happening. Have you ever heard that statement? They say, never waste, let a good crisis go to waste. LGBT situation started here in the US. And you see now they've taken it and they're spreading it out. They've used climate change as a money-making scheme. They've used paper bags as a money-making scheme. They've used LGBT, hungry kids in Africa as a money-making scheme, right?
Yep. Red Cross made a ton of money on that.
Exactly. They use natural disasters as a money-making scheme.
Yep.
They use women's oppression, right? When women feminism as a money-making scheme.
Yep.
Now here we are. They have found LGBT money-making scheme.
Mm-hmm.
What is next, man?
Mm-hmm.
What is next?
You know, to confirm what you're saying, my aunt, who is LGBT, I don't know, Q++, whatever it is, but I know she, you know, she's with another woman. And they're like, this is not our problem. Like she has a great job. Nobody treats her like crazy at work.
Exactly.
It's just like, why are they making this non-issues issues?
Yeah, it's not real. It's that's gaslighting. It's not real. Listen, I've met and worked with and interact with people who are of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm. Great people. I don't know.
It is not even something that comes up in conversation with you.
Life goes on.
I don't meet people and go, so what is your sexual orientation before I talk to you? It is a non-issue.
You're right. It's a money-making scheme. They've tagged onto this.
Yes, brother. This has nothing to do with gay people at all.
No. Nope.
It's manipulation. And so people will get on and argue and go back and forth and raza. Huh? But there's nothing happening.
But they attach money to it. $3.8 billion. That is pennies.
Yes.
At that Bitcoin, you don't need their money.
If you can sanction someone $3.8 billion just because they are anti-LGBT, how come you guys are not sanctioning someone like Israel for the apartheid that exists?
Mm-hmm.
How come India is not facing the same sort of thing for the breakdown of their classification of their society, which essentially breaks people down by color?
Yep.
The lighter you are, the higher you are on the pole.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking insane. Anything else you want to add, sir? We can wrap this one up.
LGBTQ my ass. That's what I'll say.
Be careful.
No, I'm not saying about them.
You mean for this one? Yes.
For this situation.
Yes. For this situation, yeah.
Yeah.
This is insanity, man, and this is the type of stuff that keeps driving us to hate people for no reason. Well, in fact, actually, there is no hate because if you really look at it, most people are not really. If you look at the general. The majority of people are not on the extreme ends. What you see is always the extreme. That's what is shown on TV, right? To illustrate a point. Let's say if there is a situation where some people went and maybe attacked some people of the LGBT community, the news will run that on forever. But the reality is, as you go outside and you're moving around, you meet people in real life. This is not what is happening.
No, it's not. Especially not in Africa, especially if we didn't experience it almost all the time that we spend there.
Exactly.
There's nothing against LGBTQ people in Africa, at least from my experience.
Well,
there's nothing.
Don't get me wrong. Like, even if there is, that is a conversation for these African nations to be having in their community. It is not for the IMF. Who brought IMF into the conversation? IMF is International Monetary Fund, not International LGBT Protector Fund. I'm just saying. Stick to your lane, goddammit. Any other thoughts?
I was just amazed by this madness.
Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an incredible one here. Please, that worked. Please like, share, subscribe. We are over there on YouTube. You know, YouTube is suppressing black creators. Somebody should come and sanction them. Where is the IMF, man? Let's call the IMF on YouTube. Is it a matter of fact? What happened?
No, it's a fact. We're growing faster on X than we're growing on YouTube.
Yeah, facts of life. We are. And of course, we are also over there on X as STAKK, and of course, Spotify as STAKK. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, brazen out.